Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast with Akainu Fanboy and Geboss, and today we're going to be discussing a theory that's kind of been floated around of what's Blackbeard doing right now after the Reverie and everything like that. So, just a spoiler warning that we're going to be going from all the information we know from chapter 1034 on, so we just want to give a heads up to people there. So, G-Boss, do you want to lead us off on why do we think this is a theory?
Yeah, so I think the main part of our theory is that that Blackbeard's going to be going after Big Mom's territory because she's in Wano right now, specifically after her Ponoglyph, and an extension Pudding because she can read the Ponoglyph.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, for me, I think it's because of there's that one panel in after they've disbanded all the warlords where Blackbeard's saying, like, now that the Marines are on their way doing taking care of the warlords, he can't let this opportunity go to waste. And that would be, at least for me, Blackbeard wouldn't pass up an opportunity to go after someone when their territory is unoccupied, because he's known to just go after any opportunity that he can. He doesn't like upfront confrontations with everything. He kind of slithers his way into the back end of everything, like he did in Impel Down, like he did in Marineford. But yeah, that's the main gist of it.
Yeah, because whenever Luffy gets like a huge victory, Blackbeard gets a huge victory. So when Luffy defeated CP9, got a pretty big bounty, and his crew basically all got a bounty at that time, Blackbeard became a warlord because he captured Ace. And then with Marineford, like, that goes without saying too, he basically became it. Roughly, and not specifically there, but he did become. He was given the tools to become a Yonko from that point on. He got a new crew after the Marineford incident and everything like that too. So after this, Luffy will safely be a great pirate, according to the words of Shanks. So the question is now, okay. So what's going to happen what's Blackbeard going to do during this moment as he slithers away? So you did bring up the good point of Pudding, because Pudding is specifically not with Big Mom, and then that gives more of a reason to, let's say, for him to go after Pudding, because Big Mom did reference, yeah, Pudding does have the potential to read a Ponoglyph, but she hasn't unlocked that ability yet. So it's kind of like a Chekhov's gun. It's on the table. So they're just not going to introduce, like, one of two characters in the entire series that can read the Ponoglyphs that gets to the main fighting point of the series. So she's going to have a role to play, and it could also be a role for more Sanji's motivations, and it's going to keep on beating the heck out of the whole Cake Island arc, basically, where we just keep on relitigating the significance of that arc, too.
Yeah, and I would say it would be a good target for Blackbeard to go after, especially since a lot of Big Mom's heavy hitters are with her in Wano, apparently, if they're not at the bottom of the ocean, because Marco kicked them down, and we have no idea where they are right now. But yeah, like, who is left in Whole Cake? The only, like, major person is Katakuri, right? And he's injured.
So he's injured. So not that much time has passed. Like, we should throw that out there. And the Straw Hats and the Vin Smokes and Capone and the Fishman, they did a number to her territory too. So I wouldn't say they're at 100%. So they have Cat, they have Cracker, they have Snack, Oven.
I thought Oven was going with them to Wano.
Daifuku's with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the four. And
Brulee.
That's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Brulee could give a lot of, like, more tactics behind it, but yeah, continue with your point.
No, that's a good point. I forgot about Brulee, because broken ability. So this is kind of another way to look at it too. Another reason why I think Blackbeard's going is because it's like a buffet of devil fruits for his crew. And kind of seeing Sanji and Zoro defeating Queen and King, it's kind of making me think, okay, how are we going to make another Yonko crew even more powerful than a Yonko crew in terms of their commanders? So because it kind of seems underwhelming. Okay, now they're just going to they defeated this Yonko crew, now they're going to take out this one. Blackbeard, I feel like, is going to have to be on a different level for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of them are skilled fighters, but imagine, like, let's say if Burgess had Katakuri's fruit. like, or Blackbeard had Katakuri's fruit. So I'm saying, like, that's broken. Or let's say one of them had Cracker's fruit. And then you have, like, this huge army. Ovens is pretty powerful, too.
Imagine, like, San Juan Wolf having Cracker's fruit. That would be, like, unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, what if they gave San Juan Wolf, like, a freaking power? Like, that'd be insane.
Mm-hmm. I think he already has a fruit, though, because he was weakened in the water. But anyway.
Oh, that's true.
Go on.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I think, what if one of them got Brulee's fruit, too?
Mm-hmm.
Blackbeard would be kind of invincible in terms of infiltrating places, especially infiltrating stuff for the world government. So, I think, and Pudding's ability is not linked to her double fruit. That's linked to her three-eyed tribe species, basically. So, they couldn't take that away. They'd have to keep her alive. And I think for Blackbeard's crew to be on a whole different level from Kaido's, they're going to have to take all those fruits, which they could probably easily accomplish. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, with Blackbeard, it's not specifically stated what he's going to go after, but I think it's because that the Marines are busy with the warlords right now that they're not going to really pay attention to what's going on in a Yonko territory as much. But I think that if this were to happen, it would be a huge upset in terms of like power, because we've talked about before whether or not Big Mom's making it off of Wano, or if she's going to have any significance after Wano, like in Elbaf or anything. And if Blackbeard were to destroy Whole Cake and take all the fruits and basically just destroy her entire home base, that would entirely cripple her even more so than her being defeated, because I think we're pretty sure that she's going to be defeated in Wano, but not necessarily out of the picture.
Yeah, and exactly, and I think it's weird if one Yonko's territory, like Onigashima, gets completely annihilated, and Big Mom's doesn't, especially if it's the end of the Yonko saga. I feel like their territories have to go down, because for Yonko to truly go down, their territory has to go down with them, because that's one of the identifying qualifiers for this is a Yonko, basically. So the old era has to crumble, and it's described as a paradise, so like, I mean, it would be kind of interesting, like, is Big Mom going to be knocked out or KO'd, whatever, before Blackbeard goes there? Because let's say if she does get knocked out in Wado or somehow, like, maybe all of her, like, homies just, like, deactivate, basically, and the country's even more defenseless at that point.
Yeah. But if this were to happen, I don't necessarily think that or maybe this is just a hope, that Katakuri won't be out of the picture entirely, or have his devil fruit taken or anything. Because I think definitely after his fight with Luffy, I feel like with this big final war that Oda's been talking about at the end of the series, I feel like he's gonna somehow be allied with Luffy as part of that. But that's just my own kind of, as a fan of both the characters and their interactions, I want to see them fight together. I think that would be cool.
It would be cool, but at the same time, I can see how, like, it would have been cool to see Ace in the final war, but then he died, right?
Yeah.
Like him helping out Luffy. And I think in a similar way, Oda made us love Katakuri for a reason, because he loves giving characters for Blackbeard to kill that we love.
Yeah,
and
I mean, this could be another factor for like Luffy to kind of hate Blackbeard even more, because if he learns about this, like Katakuri got taken out by Blackbeard, then he Luffy's fight with him wasn't that conclusive between the two. Like there's still debate in the fandom about who entirely won, if Katakuri like laid down by himself, like giving Luffy the win or everything. I feel like he would be upset because Luffy did gain a lot of respect for Katakuri during that fight.
Yeah, he did, because he covered his face and everything, which was a really heartfelt moment. And I think there would be kind of like a dark irony too, where Blackbeard's kind of like the counter Luffy, the dark version of Luffy when you think about it. And I think it would be very interesting and weird, but it was something I think Oda would like to do, if he gave Katakuri's fruit to Blackbeard. I mean, think of the art of that, where you have Blackbeard's fruit and the Quake fruit and the Mare no Mi. That'd be insane.
Why does he have the Mara?
I mean, sorry, Mare.
The Yami. Yeah,
my bad. But like those three together, when you think about it, the Quake fruit with the versatility of Katakuri's fruit, like it would give Luffy a run for his money, and I think it would be an insane reveal. It's like Luffy meets Blackbeard, and then he just stretches out like Cat, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
there could, yeah. Sorry, go.
No, I mean, there's the theory that Blackbeard's gonna have one of each devil fruit type, so it would be strange for him to kind of double up on Paramecias, even though the Mochi fruit is like a special Paramecia type thing, because I think Oda wrote himself. He called it a Logia originally, but then wrote it so that's a special Paramecia.
Well, it's kind of like with Shiryu of the Ring. Everybody thought he was going to get Josu's fruit, you know? And then Oda's like, oh, I'm just going to give him the fruit Sanji always wanted for some reason, you know? So, like, and that theory was there for, like, a decade plus, and Oda just destroyed it. You're probably just like,
no,
sick of y'all.
No, see, Shiryu's sword is going to eat the diamond fruit.
Yeah. That might happen. I can see that.
Yeah, who knows at this point?
We could have our established headcanon. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this. It's kind of like pushing the bounds with it. And I kind of think another reason, too, is... So we're talking about how Whole Cake's going to have ramifications later on. So we have no idea what happened to the Vid Smokes. We assume they're in Whole Cake. And I think Blackbeard's going to take advantage of the cloning technology. So, one, because Big Mom has a unique fodder army. Kaido has a unique fodder army. We have Devil Fruits and the homies and all that. But Blackbeard doesn't. He has Pink Beard, who's a legend in his own right. But I'd say it's insufficient to make it unique for the story. And I think what would make it unique is if he had the clone technology. Because Blackbeard just rips off everything from other people. He doesn't think of his own ideas, basically. So he'd rip off that idea from Big Mom. And then this is when you bring in the goated, the greatest would-be Pirate King of all time, if it wasn't for Luffy's plot armor, Gecko Moria, where basically Gecko Moria is most likely on Blackbeard's crew, because, Blackbeard asked him to join, It's kind of funny because when Luffy does it, it's like a joyful, join my crew. When Blackbeard does it, Moria's scared and pissed off. But I think Moria using his shadow fruits in conjunction with the cloning technology can create like a mass production of shadows, and it could either make him incredibly powerful or like I said, there's so many broken combinations, and I think Blackbeard's going to need something crazy like we've been discussing all these ideas this whole video, because Luffy's crew is so broken right now, especially if Yamato joins.
Yeah, and I think specifically with the we think that something bad happened to the Vinsmokes, and their technology was captured by Big Mom, and I think them having, or Blackbeard obtaining that technology would fit his personality well, because they're all just kind of like obedient drones, and that's the type of people that Blackbeard wants. And you were kind of saying how Blackbeard's like a dark mirror of Luffy. He's kind of like Luffy without the work behind him. Like, so I knew someone, we both know someone that I offered them to play the video game Dark Souls, and they said, I will only play that game if I have the best equipment, the highest level stuff, and I can basically one-shot everything. And that's how I kind of feel about Blackbeard's character, because he just kind of goes for the overpowered stuff. Like, he wants like the best people to serve that were in level 6 of Impel Down, and that's why he made them fight to the death. He wanted the strongest Devil Fruit. He wanted the strongest Logia Fruit. He wanted the Whitebeard's Fruit, which is considered like the strongest. And then you got Luffy, who he can just stretch. That's his only ability. Like, the rest of his ability comes from his own training, and you don't get that from Blackbeard, and that's why, like, we think that this would be in Blackbeard's character, because he's taking advantage of the situation, like he did in Marineford and Impel Down. After Luffy softened it up for him, both places, and if it happens in Whole Cake, it'll be the third time that he's picking up the scraps.
And so, and I know we just kind of like briefly mentioned the Ponoglyph, but he needs that to go to Raft Tail, you know?
Laugh Tail.
Doesn't matter. But what? Okay. So, and then also, most likely he's not going to get Robin. Okay, let's just put that out there. So he needs that, which means Kaido's Ponoglyph, and I think there's theoretically still a possibility for him to get it. I would have put it past Blackbeard to having an agent on Wano. I mean, didn't you have something to say on that?
Yeah.
That point too.
In the chapter where Moria showed up at Blackbeard's place and Shiryu was revealed to have the invisible fruit, like, Blackbeard seemed to know what was happening on Wano. Like, he knows, like, all the supernovas are there, that Luffy's creating a big mess there, and so I feel like he would have he has to have some sort of informant on Wano.
Well, there was that theory that Appu's a triple agent, so it would be kind of interesting if Appu was working under Blackbeard, because I can see he has the exact personality for Blackbeard's crew when you think about it. And I think for someone to get the Ponoglyph rubbing in Wano, it would have to be someone pretty strong and versatile to get in and out kind of thing. And maybe, like, that's Appu's long game, his long game, was just to get the Ponoglyph for Blackbeard, basically. I
hadn't heard that about Appu, but it fits. But yeah, I think I can't really think about what else Blackbeard would try and capitalize on with this.
So he would still need 2 more Ponoglyphs, though, after that. Like, the Zoe Ponoglyph, right? Which, I mean, hey, theoretically, he could be getting that one, too.
Yeah.
But we don't know how extensive his knowledge is on this. And then the 4th one, we don't know where it is, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we think that Shanks has it.
Yes, and with all the headcanon stuff, like, we assume maybe he'll give it to Luffy when they meet. that Ponoglyph, and then Blackbeard takes it from Shanks, maybe somewhere down the road too. So that's kind of the pathway we can see Blackbeard getting, unless they just steal all the Rugbies from Luffy when they get them all together. But I think that'd be kind of lame. I don't know. I'd prefer it if he got it individually, I guess.
Yeah, I think that he's gonna have to get these Ponoglyphs because he's gonna have. We think that Blackbeard is gonna be like the final or one of the final fights for Luffy. So he has to be at Laugh Tale with them. But I wouldn't put it past Blackbeard either to kind of just kind of like sneak in after Luffy like he did at Impel Down. Like
for Wano?
No, I mean maybe even Laugh Tale. Like he's
okay.
Like Luffy clears out the whole way and then Blackbeard follows him. But
yes. But I'm wondering if, I mean, we have no idea what it is, but maybe it has something built into it where it will not allow you to do that in a way. I assume this thing's pretty sophisticated, I guess is what I'm trying to get across, where you have to do all the work yourself to kind of get in a way. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting thought there, and we're getting closer to it, and we'll probably have a better, who knows, maybe even the next couple of chapters of what Blackbeard's been doing, which is part of the reason why we wanted to get this video out.
Yeah, we want to get our theories out before the end of Wano, because who knows if there's going to be another act or anything, or if this is just the end of Wano coming up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So those are kind of our general thoughts, and I hope you all found it interesting. And if anyone, if we're completely wrong, then we're wrong, and that's just about making theories. And we will definitely not private this video if we're wrong in the future. So
yeah.
But any thoughts?
Yeah. I'm never attached to theories. It's fun to speculate, but I won't get mad if our headcanons don't come true or anything like other fandoms have done.
Yeah, and just getting this point across, I was just kind of thinking about this a couple weeks ago, where one of the best parts about One Piece is you can't predict it, and just kind of like no one anywhere had a theory that Sanji was going to destroy the raid suit. No one anywhere had a theory that Queen was going to have all the German tech, and Oda still did it, even though he has like all these channels and forums dedicated trying to figure out what's going to happen next. There's always been so many cool, shocking moments in One Piece where you just can't predict it, and that's just honestly what I love about it, So, yeah, no, it's great, and it's really cool, like to, we'll watch the series and then to talk about the series too. So. But anyways, thanks everyone for listening. Leave a like, subscribe, and we will see you later this week for the next One Piece chapter 1035. So everyone have a good one. Peace.
Bye.